This young beautiful girl is our next patient, who is aged 4.5. Came to me with poor speech, restless, ওকে ছেড়ে দিন, নিজের মতো থাকতে দিন, ছেড়ে দিন, restless, forgetful, she can be sometimes angry from opposition. When she is opposed, she can get angry and pinch others. Angry from opposition, pinch others. কেমন আছিস? So that is her major complaint. Sometimes she has a tendency to climb up the grills. So that was her major concern. Pregnancy history, mother had oligohydramnios. Oligohydramnios is the amniotic fluid was less in content. Mother was not sure, but there's a question mark whether it was a delayed cry. Normal হয়েছিল তো? Normal তো? বাড়িতে না হাসপাতালে? She was delivered in a nursing home, normal delivery, but she was not sure if there was a delayed cry or not. আগে হয়ে গেছিল? 25 days premature. She had convulsions on the first 7 days of her birth. 7 দিন টানা খিঁচুনি হয়েছিল. First to 7 day continued convulsions every day. You got that? Very affectionate. Kisses the mom. Chumu tumu দেয় তো সব সময়. Affectionate. Her food desires are sour, chocolates, ice cream. Appetite is generally poor. কথা বলছে এখন? Forgetful plus, I mentioned that what she has studied today, she forgets it tomorrow. Pinching, I think I mentioned that. White sediment in the urine. White sediment in the urine. Anger to a certain extent, I mentioned she pinches. Fear of thunderstorm, did I mention that? Fearful of thunderstorm. She had pinworms, which is better. Changes with the medication, I have been seeing her since March last year, March 2023. কি কি পরিবর্তন হয়েছে মা আগের থেকে?
কথাগুলো আগে বলতে পারতাম, এখন কথা বলে ট্রান্সলেশন বলে পরিষ্কার সব কিছু বলতে পারবে।
স্পিচ ইজ বেটার, কতটা ভালো হয়েছে বলবে?
হ্যাঁ 67% ভালো হয়েছে।
60% better with the speech. Eye contact, চোখের দিকে তাকানো,
50%
ভালো, এখন তাকায়। Eye contact is around 50% better. দৌড়ায় এখনো? স্মৃতিশক্তি
অনেকটা ভালো আছে।
কি দিক দিয়ে ভালো?
অনেক পড়াগুলো অনেকটা মনে রাখে।
Can remember studies better. So forgetfulness is a little better. কত পার্সেন্ট বলবে? 50? ঠিক বলছো তো?
অনেকটা মনে রাখে।
Better. I'm saying 50 is quite a lot. চাটে এখন মাঝে মাঝে? She has a tendency to lick things, that's a new symptom. Pinching is still there, এখনো এ করে চিমটি কাটে? চিমটি কাটিস? বলছে মা? Start to finish one prescription, and I want you to use this remedy as well. You see quite a lot of phosphorus symptoms. If you look at her eyes, bright, bubbly eyes, right? What are the phosphorus symptoms in the case? Thank you. Desire ice cream. Fear of thunderstorm. Thank you. Fear of affectionate kisses. Needs the contact. Can be, but I will say phosphorus is more on the intellectual side. Right? Any other phosphorus symptoms? Anyone?
White sediment.
Good. Yes. White sediment in the urine. Phosphorus has that. Absolutely correct. White sediment in urine. Phosphorus has that. Any other phosphorus symptoms? Phosphorus can have aversion to sweet, but phosphorus loves chocolates. Remember that. Phosphorus can have aversion to sweets, but phosphorus loves chocolates. You look in any repertory, it will mention their desire for chocolates. But you look in repertory, aversion to sweets, phosphorus is your top remedy also. Yeah, you know, like I will say it's more like cocoa chocolates they like. Yeah.
Candy, they're not sweet things.
I will say yes to a certain extent, but they are fond of cocoa and cocoa chocolates. That's more they are fond of, in my understanding. Here with me? So these are phosphorus symptoms. Now where I'm coming from, when you feel like it's a good phosphorus totality, right? But intellectually, and that's what's the difference here with phosphorus, intellectually you'll find phosphorus to be sharp, intelligent, quick to answer. That's the phosphorus intellect. So, but when you interact with them, or when the mom tells you that he's studying something today, he is forgetting it tomorrow, that's not a phosphorus intellect. You understand what I mean? And that's where you will come across Zinc Phos. We use Zinc Phos a lot in our practice, and this is an exact totality of Zinc Phos. When you have a phosphorus constitution with the physicals, with the emotionals, but intellectually they do not match up to your thoughts of phosphorus. As I shared, tubercular remedies are very intelligent. Phosphorus, tuberculinum, calcarea phos. So you expect phosphorus to be sharp, intelligent, bright, attractive eyes should match with their intellect. But it doesn't here. And that's when you'll think of Zinc Phos. Where you have the fag of Zincum, you have the forgetfulness of Zincum, you have the poor concentration of Zincum in a restless constitution. Both zinc and both phosphorus is restless. You'll see the Mathematica term for phosphorus is restless, fidgety all over. That's phosphorus. But you understand Zincum can also be very restless. You understand what I mean? The fag of the Zincum mind, combine that with the phosphorus totality, but the restlessness is predominant. But also what guided me to a Zinc Phos in the case is whenever you get cases like this, she is 4 or 5, and the child has had a history of recurrent neurological affections in the past, the history of the recurrent convulsions, that damages the brain. You understand what I mean? Age day 1 to 7 convulsions every day, that recurrent convulsions is the reason of the fag of Zincum in this case. There's nothing in the pregnancy, nothing to do with vaccination, but that first to 7 day daily convulsions is what damages the constitution of Zincum. If you look in Allen's, please have a look in Allen's for Zincum, please. I'm sure you use Zinc Met, but Zinc Phos has a much better affinity for cases where you have a phosphorus totality but the Zincum fag in the mind. Even if you don't remember anything else, remember it's just not the intellect which you'll expect with phosphorus. That's when you'll be taken aback. So much phosphorus totality, so much phosphorus constitution, but he's not intelligent like phosphorus. He doesn't have the intellect like phosphorus. Where am I going wrong? That's when you'll need Zinc Phos. If you think physically, there will be no restlessness Baraita. Baraita is on the other end, more lazy, lethargic. That's the Baraita. But here you can understand, it's more on the other end, very restless, very high. You know, with Zinc Phos or Zincum group, it's intellectual underperformance, physical hyperactivity. So they're eating a lot. You'll find Zincum to be very greedy eaters. They're eating constantly. But the mind is not functioning as the body is so much overactive. Again, that's missing in Baraita. Baraita, you understand the mind and the body both are slow. Right? Open Zincum, please, in Borike. Zincum metallicum. I want you to please use this remedy. We have done lots of good cases with Zinc Phos. Sure, you'll benefit in your practice. Look in the introduction, please. Zinc Met Borike. Allen, sorry. person suffering from cerebral and nervous exhaustion. You got that line? Patient won't come and tell you I'm having cerebral exhaustion, but this is the interpretation. I've had a history of recurrent convulsions, history of meningitis in the past, in the Indian subcontinent, malignant malaria, falciparum malaria, which affects the brain. So any brain infections in the past. You understand what I mean? So that's the cerebral exhaustion, nervous exhaustion, defective vitality, brain or nerve power is wanting. So that recurrent convulsions has taken a toll on his intellectual capabilities, on his cognitive abilities, and hence the memory, the functioning is poor. Perhaps you would have been a phosphorus constitution if you didn't have that history of convulsions. But that history of convulsions, that caused the cerebral power to weaken, which resulted in his poor performance, poor memory, poor focus. Yes, sir.
I'm interested in the pinching. Because I had a patient who used to go out pinching. What do you draw from that or nothing?
It's more like a mischievousness also. So when you consider the remedies which are mischievous, cunning, those can help. Perhaps tarantula can come up, because the mischievous, they'll pinch and just go and hide it. Nobody has seen. So it's more like a mischievous destructiveness, right? So you can think of tarantula in such a case. You're with me for Zincum? If you see the fidgety feeling, it's there in Zincum. Fidgety feeling is there in phosphorus as well. Restlessness. So phosphorus symptoms, for him it was this totality. For any other patient of yours could be another totality of phosphorus. But with that phosphorus totality, remember it's the fag of Zincum which is most characteristic. And by fag, memory, concentration, understanding, those are poor. Right? And they're very restless. Physically they will be restless, which you find with her case. She's subdued today, but when she's in my clinic, all my things go haywire. Right? Start with Zinc Phos 200. Make sure you go up to the highest potencies to get the best results. It's a metal. It will respond with the highest potencies with Zinc Phos. If you're using phosphorus in your practice, you will always find at least 3 out of 10 you'll need Zinc Phos for ADHD. And it will not disappoint definitely. We have started with 200C. Over time, 1M has been given twice, 200C twice. Last prescription was 1M in December 13th. That was the last visit. I'm boosting today. It's too early to repeat after a 1M. She's still improving. The speech is better. You see, memory, if it's better by 50%, what the mother says, I think that's really good since I started treatment from March. It's not even a 1 year and memory has changed to a good extent. I will say we have prescribed the similimum for her case.